Unless magpo-fasting ka, di ba? So, yun, walang gastos doon.
Which is not recommended din, di ba? We were just talking about it kanina.
There are pros and cons naman ng fasting.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting, actually, no, in terms of, since medyo na-bring up na rin siya, of all the diets that we are hearing, as long as it's really done right, siya yung may mga studies naman po na, you know, it really has a good effect sa health natin, especially on managing
but still it's on a case-to-case
basis. Like for me, hindi talaga siya masyadong sa akin kasi I tend to meet a lot of clients. Sometimes we eat out, so sabayan ko sila kumain.
So it's true. My follow-up question is, it's true na hiyangan lang din talaga yung mga diet?
May premise tayo, like for example, at the end of the day kasi, if it works for you in the long run, then that is the right diet for you.
Diba? So kung passionate ka sa business mo, dapat passionate ka din sa health.
Yes.
At saka sa kinakain.
It has to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oo, kasi,
hey there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Playground Podcast.
Hello.
Where we dive into the topics that help busy professionals like you thrive in all aspects of work and life. Today, I am super excited to introduce you to an amazing guest who's here to help us navigate the world of nutrition. She's a dedicated dietitian and nutritionist who's made it her mission to simplify healthy eating for those of us juggling hectic schedules. Please welcome celebrity R&D coach, Miss Mary Rose Del Rio.
Hello. Great day,
Welcome.
everyone.
All right, so she will be sharing her journey, expertise, and practical tips to us to help us stay nourished, energized, and balanced even on the busiest days. So grab your notepad, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
Yes. Yun, siguro as a start, let's jump right to it.
Yeah.
So can you share with us yung journey mo to becoming a dietitian/nutritionist and what inspired you to pursue this field?
Ayan. So, I actually started first about hearing the program when I was in high school. So, yung teacher ko noon, nung cooking class ba yun? Yung TLE.
Oh, yeah.
THE yun sa panahon ko.
Kasi iba-iba na yung nag-transition na yung term noon.
Home economics.
Home economics, yan.
Yeah.
So, nutritionist siya. And it's also during that time na when we were having the cooking class, parang I find it very interesting yung pagluluto. However, I wanted to put also the science behind it. Because during that time, 3 of my first cousins, sunod-sunod, they actually passed away at a very young age. And di ba usually high school yan yung time na nag-iisip tayo, ano yung college course na kukunin ko, ganyan. So at that time, sobra ako na-curious, bakit yung mga, kasi I had a cousin, 13, she died of leukemia, and hindi agad na-diagnose yun. Parang akala na parang dengue lang, ganyan. And then, yun, nung nalaman, after a few days, he passed away. I had another cousin, 20 cardiac arrest, DOA. Yes, nagbibilyar lang yon. Tapos biglang nag-pass away. No? And then, I had another cousin, around 25, kidney failure. So, even though na yung kapatid niya, na-share na sa kanya, nagkaroon na ng transplant and all, after a few years, he also passed away. Basically, 5 kaming magkakapatid. So, alam mo yun, when those things were happening, I think in a span of 3 to 4 years, may talaga siya sa...
May impact.
In my mind, no? Sabi ko, why? Bakit yun nangyayari? Ano yung mga ginagawa nila na dapat hindi namin gawin?
And
so, for
somebody
some
who's close to you pa, di ba?
Yes, oo. Kilala ko sa first cousin ko, sila yung mga kalaro ko. Alam mo yun, whenever we have family reunions, sila talaga yung present. So, something in me na trigger. Like, parang I have to do something. Yung ganong feeling. Yeah. So, that's why,
when was this? High school pa?
High school, mga third. Actually, mga ganyan. Mid high school. That's why, buong-buo talaga yung decision ko. Actually, my first choice was food tech. Tapos,
food tech.
first pala is nutrition. The other one is food tech.
Food tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yun, I love the program because I also have the high hopes of, since I have also aging parents, gusto ko rin na how can they age without maintenance medication? Para kasing nagiging cycle na lang, na parang pag tumatanda, para bang na-accept na lang yung reality na pag talaga tumanda ka, naglalabasan talaga yung mga gantong sakit. Sabi ko, why does it have to be accepted as default? So it means na parang pag tinanggap ko yun, does it mean that I'm also accepting the same fate for my life? And I think I don't want to happen because di ba, minsan lang tayo mabubuhay. We deserve a better quality of life regardless of,
Right. A question lang, na-curious ako. dietitian, nutritionist, pareho lang, no?
Ganito po siya, no? Maganda yung question ni Sir. Because ano po yan, may technical term tayo dyan. Anyone can be a nutritionist, but not all can be a dietitian. In the term here in the Philippines, R&D means Registered Nutritionist Dietitian. It means you're able to complete a 4-year bachelor's program, plus you're able to pass a board exam. Yun
Okay.
po. Tapos, sa ibang bansa, ang tawag sa kanya registered dietitian, RD lang. Wala yung nutritionist.
RD.
Kaya minsan parang, di ba, nutritionist lang, minsan dietitian yung naging term. But here in the Philippines, the proper
RN.
term is RND, Registered Nutritionist Dietitian.
Okay. So, fast forward to
Yes.
today, ano basically yung ginagawa mo, no? And then, saan nanggagaling yung passion of, yan, nabanggit mo yung backstory mo,
Yeah,
pero,
yeah.
syempre, while you are in that journey, you know, yung mga nangyayari sa atin is, nagkakaroon ng mga other influences.
Apo.
Meron bang other passion na na-build from there? And, what's this? Yun nga, what exactly do you do now? Parang ganun.
Yan. So, after graduating, no, syempre mas na-expose tayo sa outside world. What's really the reality. Yung mga napag-aralan, parang nakita mo how these theories come into play. Ito ba talaga yung solusyon dun sa talagang problema ng community ng health right now? So, what I've realized is that what was taught to us during that 4-year thing is really kumbaga, it's okay. I really appreciate it. However, given also na lumilevel up yung mga health challenges ng community, we really need to continuously evolve and level up yung mga health approaches natin. So, this time, what I have been venturing on is helping people, families, no, and also I'm into a lot of corporate wellness programs because hindi na lang talaga enough yung the exercise, nutrition, stress management, and sleep, no. That's why meron tayong tinatawag na pillars, the 5 pillars of wellness in addressing mga lifestyle and degenerative diseases. And there's so much hope. Yun din talaga yung nakikita. Given the advancement right now of science, sabi ko nga, kung yung technology, no, like yung Apple, level up or nagkakaroon ng mga advancement, dapat hindi papahuli ang health. Lalo na yung tao, yung katawan, yung gumagawa ng mga advances na yan. Hindi dapat tayo yung mapuruhan. Alam mo yun?
Right.
Yeah.
Narinig ko yung hope eh. So, ibig sabihin, meron pala akong hope.
Yes. Yun talaga. That's what keeps me, motivated and all that. Because it's just merely, apart from awareness, is maintindihan talaga ng tao. Possible talaga siya.
So you're saying na lack of awareness yung nangyayari these days, kaya yung mga tao is like having this health issues?
I think siya, multifactorial. Kasi even though a lot of people are aware of this and that, yung problem nila, there are a lot of factors which affects the decision making of people whether or not to pursue doon sa kanilang the goal, no, the discipline and all that. Just like accountability will come into place, kung gaano ka sustainable yung the strategies that will be done. Kasi di ba minsan dun sila na parang, I think it's not really working for me.
Right.
However, kasi ang health journey, no, hindi siya parang one time na natutunan mo lang. It has to be really just like anything na nalulern natin in life, parang success or finances yan. It has to be a continuous learning.
Right. Pero I don't think I find some influencers na nakafocus talaga sa nutrition and diet. Kasi I don't know, correct, yung in your case, ang nakikita ko lagi mga doctors about paano yung mag-alaga ng puso and whatnot. Pero yung yung diet and nutrition, parang wala akong may nakikita ka
I
bang
think I saw one.
Okay. Pero hindi siya yung ganun kadami.
Yeah, hindi siya ganun kadami.
So,
but,
dapat
I've
dumami ka
seen
pa.
some.
Actually, maganda na bring up yan ni Sir, no? Because in a hospital setting, ang sistema has to be, di ba? Para kaming Power Rangers. Yung kapag
team.
may team siya. So, in every hospital, meron pong therapeutic clinic, clinical dietitian, mga ganyan. The system has to be, kapag once the patient pupunta sa doctor, once the doctor finds that it needs nutritional management, like cases like diabetes, or may nakita na kailangan talagang lifestyle modification doon sa tao, the doctor has to refer it to a dietitian. That's siya has to be the default practice. However, dahil may konting subject din naman ang doctor sa nutrition, as per my cousin nga, no, na nutritionist din, and nagpursue ng medicine, sabi niya sa akin, actually, Mary Rose, konti lang mga parang 2 units or something. Kaya lang yung iba medyo tinutulugan din nila. So, you cannot really 100% rely on them to, yun nga. But ideally, ganun po yung nangyayari, which is, unfortunately, it's not happening most of the time.
Well, yeah. So, dito kasi with our podcast, no, ang main audience natin are mga working professionals.
Yes.
As you know, working professionals, madaming stress yan. Ano? Siguro, you know, I think yung one question kasi here is that like me myself, no, I'm trying to learn this right nutrition, pero I don't want to be misled, you know, by a lot of information, especially in the internet. Pero ano ba yung natin?
What are the common myths about nutrition and health that you frequently encounter, particularly among mga working professionals?
Ayan. So, working professionals, usually, di ba, sila yung mga nag-work sa labas. Though, may mga work from home na rin, especially nitong pandemic. I think one of the misconception would be, wala kang makakain na healthy sa labas. Yung
I heard that a lot.
yung tipong, feeling nila, if they eat out, they would always eat unhealthy. However, when you really get to simplify things, especially yung principles of food and nutrition, like for example, as long as, alam mo yung basic thing na when you eat carbs, as long as it's complex, so meaning, for example, kung nag-sandwich ka sa labas, kung may choice ng mag-whole wheat bread as an option, ask yung waiter, baka may whole wheat bread as an option. No? May mga restaurants na nag-offer ng ganyan. That's for the carb source. So, very rare na may mga brown rice, ganyan. Though may mga specialty restaurants offer that. When it comes to protein, you just have to observe yung mga cooking method. Grilled, di ba? Like yung typical na, I don't know kung pwede mag-drop dito ng brand. Yung mga mang inasal, as simple as that, which is readily available. Parang a choice between fried chicken of McDo or katabi naman niya yung mang inasal, just go for mang inasal instead. Why? Kasi inihaw siya, grilled siya.
Mang inasal baka naman.
Though yung chicken oil, ayan.
Pero client natin yan. Client natin yan si mang inasal.
Ayan, hello po. Yun, if you can opt for that instead. So yung mga healthier cooking method, inihaw, ginisa nila, gaganyan. Kung merong mga mabibilihan kayong lutong bahay na malapit sa workplace nyo, that's good. Hindi naman actually complicated po talaga yung pagpili ng healthy na pagkain, no?
Actually, guilty ako dyan kasi nga, lagi ko rin sinasabi na wala bang available. That's why we're trying to prepare yung food namin on our own kasi nga, ayun nga, yung meat na yun, I think is really true. Ano? Other than that, meron pa bang mga common myths na
I think one of mahal magpaka-healthy. Yun. Kasi I think it's di ba sabihin nila, ay, magpaka-healthy, it's really pricey.
Mahal.
Pang mga lang
salads
yan,
are expensive
daw,
kasi
expensive. I think it boils down to the right perspective. No? Kasi whether it is magpaka-healthy ka or magkasakit ka, it both entails a price. There is the price to pay. Money would always be involved. Pero saan mo ilalagay yung hard-earned money mo? Doon sa, something that benefits you while you're simultaneously, doing your work or syempre, di ba? Sa otherwise.
Yeah.
Unless magpo-fasting ka, di ba? So, yun, walang gastos doon.
Which is not recommended din, di ba? We were just talking about it kanina.
There are pros and cons naman ng fasting.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting, actually, in terms of, since medyo na-bring up na rin siya, of all the diets that we are hearing, as long as it's really done right, siya yung may mga studies naman po na, it really has a good effect sa health natin, especially on managing
diabetes. But it's on a case-to-case
basis. Like for me, hindi talaga siya masyadong sa akin kasi I tend to meet a lot of clients. Sometimes we eat out, so sabayan ko sila kumain.
So it's true. My follow-up question is, it's true na hiyangan lang din talaga yung mga diet?
May premise tayo, like for example, at the end of the day kasi, if it works for you in the long run, then that is the right diet for you. Ganun siya. And syempre yung mga specifics underneath nun in terms of following the premise of that diet.
Tsaka it depends on your lifestyle din, like you said, diba?
Sa nature of work po ninyo,
correct,
etc.
Before kasi I used to subscribe to yung mga weekly health yung pinapadala sa'yo. And at that time sa Manila, dinadala ko siya kasi yung nature of my work is a field eh.
Always go.
Nangyari doon. Kasi I also have a driver at that time.
That's
So, may meeting ako sa labas. So, kakain ako sa labas. Hindi ko nakakain yung plan. So, nangyari, nabibigay ko doon sa driver. So, ang pumayat ngayon yung driver.
Siya ngayon yung mas naging ano.
Oo, siya yung naging healthy.
Healthy.
But anyway, so, yeah. So,
That's cool.
Yeah, but at least thanks for shedding some light dun sa meron ka naman pala talagang other healthy options. Like let's say kasi nga yung pagkain sa labas sabihin walang healthy pero even in fast food meron ka pa ring at least healthy options even at
like
fast foods.
simple kasi mga mayo, 'di ba? If you can lessen that, 'di ba minsan mare-request mo 'yan sa ano mo.
Yeah.
yeah. Pero meron ka bang parang, yun nga, iba-iba tayo ng mga schedules, iba-iba tayo ng yung stress level and lifestyle. So, do you have like a practical advice, no? Yung parang yung at least a baseline of how to maintain yung healthy diet despite of that busy schedule?
I think we have to check yung daily routine mo. Like, ano ba yun talagang committed mo, non-negotiable sa work, ano yung mga non-negotiables mo muna, so that you can find a window where you can really, kasi intentional pa rin kung gaano ka committed and intentional po doon sa trabaho natin. Same goes doon sa ating health journey, may it be in the exercise or prepping for your meals, ganyan. Kasi I think what's the challenging part doon is yung pagbibigay ng time. But and sometimes it's not because we don't know what to do. Actually, the information is already there. You can find, ano kailangan kong gawin, magpaka-healthy exercise, ganyan. I think it has to start with the perspective na ano ba talaga yung importante sa akin? What are the things that I value the most? Kasi minsan doon po nagkakaroon ng friction sa pagbibigay ng oras. But we know na kung gusto mo magpaka-healthy, it's a certain area of your life where you want to grow it. And we know na anything na gusto nating mag-grow, we really give time to it, right? So, so self-assessment, like ano ba talaga importante sa'yo? So, importante sa'yo, work mo, family mo, finances, etc. And of course, your health. So, if you acknowledge na, yes, importante to, then I really have to give time for it.
Right.
I think yun muna yung step 1 na parang
mindset.
The mindset into it. Para, regardless of, dahil nga po, health journey siya, hindi yung parang one time, pak, ito yung kailangan mong matutunan. Hindi siya ganun lang eh. Every time you have to reinforce your belief of what it is to be, what it is really magpaka-healthy.
Correct.
Kapag oorasan lang po natin yan, ngayong week lang na to, or ngayong month lang na to, dyan tayo makakaroon ng problema. Pero if you're gonna see it really as a lifetime commitment, kung gaano ka committed sa relationship mo with your family and with your work or business, it really goes hand in hand. So, for example, you find yourself na, papasok naman pala ako sa work ng let's say 9 a.m. and you have 1 to 2 hours before the 9 a.m. So, where can you put that? For example, like workout or depende kung wala kang helper, ano yung pwede mong magawa sa 1 hour na meal.
Mas mabilis.
Apo, kasi nakadepende rin doon yung mga gagawin mong food. Right? Yun po yung question.
Which brings me to the next question actually. Yung na-mention mo kasi yung meal prep tips for professionals. So if you have what are some simple affordable meal prep ideas for those with limited time but want to eat healthy?
So number 1, I think it's very important to determine yung ano yung time na allotted. So let's say kung 1 hour lang po siya, like yun nga, in the morning or sa hapon, ganyan. So, once we determine the time, we need to determine ano yung resources na available. Dalawa ba yung kalan ko dito? Do I have an air fryer habang may kalan ako? Para, dun po kasi naka-base kung ano yung mga pwede kong lutuin. Kasi like for example, what's happening sa bahay din namin, right now we don't have a helper. So, ang nangyayari, it's either we prep the dishes, kasi hindi rin kami talaga mahilig sa because yun nga of the awareness, no, yung mga hotdog, etc., mga ganyan, tosino, yung mga mabilisan, frozen food, apart from managing the weight, hindi lang yun, but these are also mga carcinogenic kasi siya, di ba, cancer causing.
So mindfully, you don't really
yes,
buy
opo,
those
parang
stuff.
feeling namin kapag nagganon kami, usually mag-hotdog, yes, pero hinahalo lang namin siya sa pag nag-spaghetti, pag nagsopas,
So not
but
purely
you eat
hotdog.
yes,
Kaldereta,
like
sarap.
ito nga recent, mga ganun po. So talagang yung mga niluluto na mga ulam,
As an
ganyan.
ingredient lang siya or
Hotdog,
yung mga
added,
ganyan.
slice mo lang, tapos mga ganun lang po, no? So, how do you prepare for it? Yun, nakabase sa time and the kitchen equipment available, and then from there, you get to determine, okay, pag nagluto ako ng afritada, kung ako rin yung maghihiwa nito, you also
It will
have
take
to
time, yeah.
know that. Or kung meron kang
Yeah.
helper na pwede mong i-leverage yun, tapos ikaw na lang yung mag-decide sa, di ba, kung very particular ka sa halo-halo, lasa-lasa. Kasi you have to determine saang area mo gusto dapat involve ka. Baka pwede yung iba na lang yung gumawa, or kung walang choice, ikaw talaga lahat, then you have to know ano ba yung meal na in 20 minutes or 30 minutes luto siya. Na baka pwedeng habang nagluluto ako dito sa isang kalan ng afritada, meron akong pinapakuluan dito na tinola, at meron akong ini-air fryer na chicken barbecue, for example.
Sarap ng mga sinasabi niyong pagkain.
po, no? And
Yeah.
then, kung yung ganun, parang let's not
parang
make it complicated.
i-design mo talaga siya according to the several factors and parameters and environment and kasama mo sa bahay, etc.
Yes,
It's
yes.
really a customized
Opo,
thing
kailangan
that you have to
talaga.
which leads me to the question, yung kasing mga plans na mga subscription plans na available, I think naging trending din yan for a while and whatnot, pero for some reason, I don't know, in your experience, side question lang to, bakit hindi siya nasusustain? What do you think is the problem in that market, or probably yung mga service providers, ano sa tingin mo yung challenge, bakit siya hindi nasusustain, or hindi naman, kasi the idea is good. Kasi nga convenience, hindi mo kailangan mag-prepare yung mga kinikwento mo kanina, di ba? Pero ano ba yung kulang na dapat meron available in the market para ma-sustain siya?
Sustain siya. I think, actually, consider ko rin siya, as a certain time when I was in Manila. Kasi syempre wala rin akong parang, kitchen or something whenever I stay there. I think one of the challenge is, well, number one yung taste. Kasi kung hindi mo talaga matagalan the way they prep their meals, right? Hindi talaga tatagal doon yung tao. And I think another one would be yung nature ng galawan nila sa everyday. So for example, like what you mentioned, sir, earlier, if you tend to really miss out dahil hindi mo talaga maupuan yung breakfast, lunch, dinner, something like that. I think yun yung isa sa mga challenges.
Kasi naka-fix siya sa i-deliver na as one batch, di ba? Tapos you have to iinitin mo na lang.
Iinitin mo na lang siya.
Paano kung ang nature of work mo nasa field, di ba? Hindi mo siya magagawa.
Very important po yun. Speaking of that, importante rin po talaga na bago yung sarap at yung nutrition is yung safety ng pagkain. Kasi sa totoo lang po, pag niluto mo yan, meron po tayong tinatawag na temperature danger zone or TDZ ng bawat pagkain. Right? Kaya kung mapapansin nyo po pag mga sa buffet catered, mga naka-warmer sila, mga transport nila, etc. ganyan. So, concern din yun kasi maraming mga foodborne illnesses, mga ganyan. So, ideally, pagkaluto ng pagkain, within 4 hours, makonsume siya. Oo. And speaking of the meals din, siguro to add on to the pinag-uusapan natin, especially when you're outside, kaya minsan maganda na lang din na bumili sa labas bagong luto, ganyan. Kasi 'di ba pagka may baon ka, minsan may mga na binaon ka dyan na madaling mapanis,
contaminated
ganyan. Yes.
So or nainitan sa kotse,
kino-consider.
So you don't recommend yung meal planning for like yung iba kasi I've seen videos na Sunday mini-meal prep nila and for the whole week inilalagay lang sa freezer and then init lang sila ng init. You don't recommend
okay
that?
naman po kung yung like yung
freezer.
fini-freeze freezer tapos i-reheat mo, that's okay.
Okay lang yan.
Okay lang po yun. So long as yung texture naman okay sa'yo, ganyan. Meron lang din kasi na kapag nireheat mo, hindi masyado.
There's certain food din naman talaga na okay pag nireheat, merong hindi, di ba?
Opo. But generally, it's okay. Kasi ang freezing po is one of the natural preservation method. So, that's why, in prepping meals, if you can do it the night before and then i-reheat mo na lang, reheating is okay.
Hindi ba nababawasan yung nutrition ng food pag fini-freeze siya? Kasi may concept na, let's say, gulay, pag masyado siyang overcook, nawawala yung nutrition. Tama ba yun? Is it a myth? A misconception ba siya?
Magandang mapag-usapan po. Parang, anong part ng process before mo siya kainin, nawawala yung nutrition. Well, number one, by the time na yung lupa pa lang natin, that's the reality right now, kulang na sa nutrition. Transportation, when you wash the vegetables, particularly water-soluble nutrients, B vitamins, vitamin C, which we need every day and we need to also. Kumbaga, kailangan ng katawan every day at nawawala rin sa katawan natin every day. Yan, washing pa lang and steaming. More of sa ganun, ma'am, yung process. But freezing, not really.
Not really, okay.
Apo. More of sa mga, kung ano yung pwedeng mag-evaporate or mag-alis ng water, mga ganyan. And siguro sa, merong mga nutrients na affected din by light. Like, vitamin B2, riboflavin, which is usually present sa milk. Kaya mapapansin nyo yung mga milk na kakarton. Kasi, pag
parang hindi
natamaan ng
mag-penetrate
ilaw,
masyado
may
yung-
mga ganon factors. But freezing is ano siya, lalo na kapag for example may nag-thrive na bacteria, hino-hold niya lang yung hindi niya pagdamay pero it doesn't actually kill the bacteria that's present. That's why you really need to heat it up.
Right. So, kailangan mo talagang sabi mo nga kanina, di ba? So, kung passionate ka sa business mo, dapat passionate ka din sa health.
Yes.
At saka sa kinakain
It has
mo.
to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oo, kasi, well, ano naman yan, cliche na, health is
Health
wealth.
is wealth.
Which talaga namang 100% totoo rin.
Right.
Kasi if you don't take care of it now, eventually when you age, talagang mas mahirap pag hindi ka
Bibigyan at
nag-alaga.
bibigyan mo rin ng oras eh. Sabi nga, if you
Oo.
don't make time for wellness right now, you will be forced to make time for illness. So,
Right. Oo.
And that time might be too late, no?
Apo.
Diba?
One aspect din also is yung I used to join triathlons and marathons, no. And ang isang na-observe ko is if I'm not properly hydrated, talagang hindi ko natapos yung last marathon ko because of that. So ano ba yung importance ng hydration, I think, and yung ano ba yung tamang practice when it comes to hydration?
Hydration, yan. Of course, it's a major component of our body, body water, body fluids. It keeps yung in and out nangyayari sa mga cells natin every day, the membranes and all. So, it's
Painom ako ng tubig.
painom tayo ng tubig. So, yan, we need that. Yung basic na 8 glasses, actually, depende rin siya sa nature of what you do. You can go more than that if you think there is an urge to do so. Mas tumataas yung requirement natin for water. Yan, given a physical activity, so mas higher intense physical activity, you need more water kasi nag-excrete yan din through the urine, through the sweat. So, the more you sweat out, often you do your urination, mas madali siyang matanggal. And also, yun, when we are on a weight management, particularly losing body fat, as you intentionally increase the protein and fiber, mga ano po kasi sila may water-loving characteristic. So like for example, the fiber, di ba? Pagka, ano kasi siya, fiber, it's like it adds bulk sa system natin. Pero para maging suwabe, yung paglabas niyan sa bitukan natin, it really attracts. Para siyang sponge, right? It tends to attract water in its surroundings. That's why, if yun yung minodify mo sa diet mo, you need to also be conscious about your water intake para wala po tayong maging problem. Or mas maging swabe din yung ano.
Meron bang particular water na, kasi napag-usapan din natin to kanina. We have yung mga distilled, purified, mineral. Meron bang particular water na dapat na iniinom? Meron pang alkaline. Yung alkaline
iba-iba.
water.
Dami.
Nauso din yan for a while yung alkaline water. Or it doesn't matter talaga?
I think it depends din sa like budget, whatever it is convenient for you, ganyan.
Available,
It
yeah.
boils down really to safety. Like for example, when you ingest this particular thing, ano ba yung goal ko dito? I mean, if I know that it's just simply for hydration and nothing else, then it really doesn't really matter. But do I also expect a certain major health benefits from it? And if it does have the health benefits, kumbaga, talaga ba niyang mamimit niya yung objective ko? Like what you bring up earlier, like the minerals. Yes, may mga water tayo that has minerals in it. Mineral water, ganyan. Diba? But the question is, if I rely my mineral intake alone from this mineral water, do I expect it to meet my daily mineral requirements? So, hindi rin naman. Kaya, kumbaga, hindi ko na siya pare sobrang pagbuhusan ng pag-iisip.
Pag-isipan.
Dahil parang
Pero
mas
ako,
maraming
yeah.
importante. Parang
But
ganon,
I have
in
a
terms
question
of the
though.
food.
Meron bang overconsumption or overhydration? Is there such thing? Kasi may dehydration,
recent may
right?
mga news,
Meron
diba,
bang
recently?
so over naman yung pag-inom ng tubig?
Ako yata may kanyang experience kasi nung bata ako sa province, ang iniinom namin deep well . As in, yung napakadaming minerals. So, siguro hanggang ngayon, nandito pa yung mga
Minerals.
minerals na over
No,
na.
but yeah, seriously, kung merong ideal like 8 glasses of water per day, meron bang maximum na hanggang dyan lang dapat yung i-consume ng isang body? Meron ba?
Well, basically kasi parang sabihin nating toxic levels, you mean. I think it's more of the regulation ng minerals like sodium, potassium. It will really boil down on that. Kasi once naman na-detect ng katawan mo that, ay, dami na masyado. Di ba your kidney, your bladder can also hold a certain amount of volume.
Right.
So, i-excrete niya din if na-detect niya na it's just too much already. Ganon siya. So, it will just pag nag-take in ka ng, let's say, masyadong marami, aalisin niya rin. So, tutulungan ka talaga ng katawan mo to balance it out. And medyo rin, di ba, kapag ang daming tubig.
It depends din dun sa water.
Kalunod dun, ganyan.
Oo nga.
Ang magiging challenge dun, ma'am, is the mineral, yung sodium, potassium balance.
So, yun yung effect naman sa
yun
body.
yung magiging effect kapag if it's, just too much of water. Binigla mo, let's say, yun siya.
Yeah. Siguro, let's jump in naman dun sa another topic, no, yung stress and mental health. Kasi especially yung mga working class, 'di ba? Yan ang talaga yung stress eh. Ano ba yung impact talaga ng stress and mental health when it comes to nutrition and how can you mitigate that problem, no?
Yes. So, actually correlated yung stress at saka yung gut natin. Stress and at the same time how we kung may yung metabolic challenges, when I say mga metabolic diseases, meron yung correlation sa mga sakit na diabetes, cancer, sakit sa puso, etc. How? It's because pagka-chronic yung stress natin, so it's the cortisol hormone or the stress hormone that is affected. So mataas, maraming trigger, elevated yung cortisol hormones. It has also effects sa insulin resistance and tendency, more cravings. Pag lagi ka nag-crave, domino effect po siya. Pag lagi ka nag-crave, wala kang masyadong control sa pagkain. Pag masyadong walang control sa pagkain, magiging overweight, obese. Pag overweight, obese, yun na, domino effect sa mga metabolic diseases. So, ganun po yung nagiging problema. It will damage your gut health, etc.
Kasi I think just to share din and I shared it earlier, yung stress kasi it can also lead to depression. And sabi mo nga, I think nabasa ko din yan, yung sa gut health. Pag hindi tama yung kinakain mo, diretso pumapasok sa mental natin, sa brains and
there's
nerves.
such thing as stress eating, di ba, na tinatawag.
Diba? Actually, guilty ako dyan. Lalo na sa gabi na, lagi ako
binging ka
naghahanap
lang ng anything.
May iba rin cases po na okay siya, like, na-manage yung stress, mental health, ganyan. Pero mas unang nasisira yung gut. So, ang tendency, affected,
yung mental,
babalik pa rin. So, siya, it's like a two-way thing. This is the problem na challenge yung gut. Pag yung gut yung problem, na-challenge yung isa. So, both has to be consciously,
working hand in hand, addressed,
Yun, so what's your take naman dun sa mga supplements, no? Kasi pinag-uusapan natin yung traditional meals and all and what not, tapos we talk about hydration. Pero how important yung mga supplements, or kailangan ba talaga ng tao na mag-take ng supplements, no?
Yes. So it's parang nung sinaunang panahon,
Way
1900s,
back in time,
way back. Okay pa nung wala pang climate change, etc. And modern agriculture has impacted a lot, no, yung the quality of the soil. Basically doon po nakadepende kung ano yung nutrition ng isang prutas at gulay. And at the same time, given also yung, just like what you mentioned earlier, pagka-busy in all that, we cannot already track kung okay, 800 mg pala ng calcium yung kailangan ko today. So ano ba yung mga kailangan, ano ba yung sa meal kong to, na kailang milligram? So it's really challenging to accurately get the minimum requirement. Meron po, we have what we call yung tinatawag na RENI, Recommended Energy and Nutrient Intake, para po yung Bible namin. Pagdating sa mga vitamins and minerals. The nutrition facts, di ba makikita nyo doon. This is based on ganitong age, 2,000 calorie diet, etc. So somehow, correlated yun doon sa sinasabi kong RENI or the Bible that we have. It's really very comprehensive. I can You can actually search it.
So, memorize mo yan? Dahil
hindi
Bible
po,
mo
sa
yan,
sobrang
memorize
dami.
it.
That's why we have it like always handy. So, ano talaga siya, it's a table, sobrang daming numbers.
So, it's
ganyan.
like your manual?
Yes,
Okay.
opo. So that's how we base our dosaging, recommendations. So basically, do we need it every day? Yes, because your micro is as important as your macro. Yung macro, carb, protein, fat. Madali pong makita sa plato nyo if you're having it daily. Makakita ka lang dyan ng kanin, ulam, gulay. Ops, may macro na ako. And if you actually have it like once a day lang, ramdam mo agad kapag kulang ka, like energy. However, micronutrients, micro from the term itself, yes, kailangan mo siya on a little amount, pero usually neglected, and later on kapag over the years na neglect, boom, talagang ano po yan, so sorpresahin ka na lang yan ng isang nutrient deficiency. As Dr. Linus Pauling, 2-time Nobel Prize winner, mentioned, almost all diseases right now really comes from nutrient deficiency.
I see.
Because parang yung mga ano po natin, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, parang sila yung mga helpers that makes the macros do their job inside our body. Ganyan.
So the micro, makukuha mo siya sa mga supplements?
Basically, fruits and vegetables. However, dahil nga po hindi na sufficient, you need additional. However, not all supplements then are created the same. Parang bigas lang yan.
Tsaka hindi rin ganun ka-accessible yung mga fruits eh.
Right now.
Lalo na sa city, no?
Opo. So, what we recommend po right now is yung tinatawag natin na pharmaceutical grade nutritional supplement. Kasi yun, just like nga po bigas, merong premium, merong parang NFA quality. Iba-iba rin po yung quality ng nutritional supplements. So, you need to consider yung absorption rate, potential toxicities, and yung mga third party. Kasi yes, FDA is one thing. However, general kasi yung sa FDA, diba? There are really mga, for example, NSF approved ba yan, consumerlab.com. Ano yung mga third party na hindi mo mababayaran para lang maging magaling ka? May mga ganun po. So, you have to check, ito bang brand na ito, pasado ba siya sa lahat ng third party pagdating sa nutritional supplement?
So, ano yung mga basic supplement na kailangan ng isang working class or professional?
Magandang tanong.
Okay, dadagdagan ko, no? Kasi meron kasing notion na para convenient, mag-take na lang ako ng multivitamins. So, ano ba yung mga vitamin or supplements nga na sinasabi niya na you have to take talaga siya na separate?
Isa-isa, yeah.
Separate. Yung vitamin C ba yan? Vitamin B? Ano ba yung dapat may?
Siguro maglagay tayo ng age range. When you parang 20, 25 years old hanggang mga, let's say, 50 years old. Yeah. Pwede ba yan? Para at least medyo working class yan. Mga professionals.
22, ayan, okay. Kasi actually throughout each and every stage, may requirement talaga, no? Lalo na yung sa mga kids kasi nag-grow sila. But focusing on that 20 to 30, well, considering the lifestyle of the 20 to 30, there are a lot of pro-inflammatory food na kahit sabihin na natin, sige, aware ako, hindi ako masyado dapat kumain ng sweets and mga prito, ganyan. But let's face it, it's a reality. Parte talaga siya. So, pro-inflammatory, anong pangontra mo? Anti-inflammatory. That's where your omega-3s will come into place. Okay. So, saan mo nakukuha yung omega-3? Salmon, walnuts, avocado. Pero how often do we eat that?
Ang mahal ng
Minsan lang yan. That's why we can get it from fish oil. No, but it has to undergo the double distillation process. Kasi a common concern po for fish oil is the mercury content.
Yeah. Okay guys, take down notes tayo. Number 1 is fish oil. Omega-3.
Well, bukod po sa anti-inflammatory siya, it benefits your brain. 60% of your brain is made out of fats. So you would want to inject healthy fats dyan. Right? So to keep your memory sharp, prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, especially if you use your brain a lot, like sa numbers and all. Mga ganyan. So your eye health also, and your heart. So para yung mga help normalize yung mga cholesterol natin, yung mga bara-bara. So medyo ang pwede ring tumulong dyan is your omega-3. And then, it does a lot. No? Mga medyo sumasakit sa kasukasuan natin minsan. Kasi sometimes, diba, because nga of stress or after working out, actually, immediately after working out, the inflammation goes up. That's why yung mga people into sports, basic po yan, omega-3. Even during working out to manage the inflammation that's happening.
Okay.
Kasama naman yan sa customize mo for me.
So omega-3, that's one.
So another thing is magnesium. Magnesium is highly talaga ngayon kasi bumababa din po yung magnesium natin sa katawan whenever we drink coffee, alcohol, etc. Yeah, so it's okay. Marang there's nothing wrong about drinking all those as long as yun conscious po tayo na anyway, I'm getting my more than around 400 milligram of magnesium daily. Yes, pwedeng makuha mo siya sa food. Kaya lang usually kasi ang mga food, mga less than 100 lang yan. Kaya po, that's where, yun nga, supplementation.
Anong benefits naman
would
ni
come in.
magnesium?
Maraming studies ngayon that it really is linked to longevity. No, apart from it's part of kabarkada yan ng calcium in regulating the bone health.
The one you told me.
Yes,
kanina.
and also for muscle and nerve function. So
Sa sleep ba nakakatulong din?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's number one. It helps to relax the muscles. So parang medyo mas kalmado ka when you get to take calcium at magnesium at night. Yan. So related yan. Yan. Daming importante rin.
Yeah.
Okay, omega and then
Omega-3,
magnesium. May exam tayo mamaya.
Opo. So, well, kasi, basics in vitamin C, B vitamins, we get to hear them a lot.
Vitamin
So,
B, yeah.
I would basic yun by default. By B complex is responsible for releasing the energy mula dun sa macro na kinain mo. Yan. Kaya
Okay.
nagtataka yung iba, bakit daw lunch nila, tapos antok na antok, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., ganyan. Kasi pwedeng, hindi ka naman kulang sa tulog, okay din naman yung pagkain mo. Pero yun nga, dahil kulang sa micros, hindi mo natulungan yung macro i-release yung calories. So, hindi mo na-use up tuloy yung energy. Na-store lang siya. Na-store hanggang sa
Naging fat.
stored fat. Okay,
Yeah.
So, kaya it has to be really macro and micro, hand in hand.
Okay.
May it be nagmerienda ka, nag-meal ka, ganun siya talaga super ka-importante.
Ito, we argue about this. Is there such thing as overdose in vitamin C?
Yes, that's where dosaging will come in.
No,
C.
1,000.
Vitamin C?
Vitamin
Sorry.
C.
Vitamin C.
Average of 2,000 is
Oh.
okay. Since water soluble po siya, if-flush out mo rin naman if ever sumobra. No, though
Okay.
may mga fat soluble vitamins na dahil nga fat soluble siya, mas matagal siyang ma-store sa katawan that we need to be careful about.
But
That's
you can
where-
take like 1,000, like 2 tablets of vitamin C in a day, right?
yung milligram
Kasi
po
500
per tablet.
milligrams siya eh. So,
Average of 2,000 is max
Okay,
per day is
yes.
okay. Apo.
Pero more than that, about 5,000 a day, hindi na yan recommended.
Oo, tsaka
Oh.
mag-a-acid ka na.
Ang mga ganyan. Marami pong...
I don't think may...
Kasi actually, kung ang goal mo lang, like, okay, kung 5,000, ano ba yung goal mo? Bakit ka you would want to make it 5,000? If
Yeah,
you just
tama
want
naman.
to simply, it will boil down really kung ito bang gusto mong gawin, does it match yung goal mo? Kasi if not, baka meron tayong other
But
things na kailangan.
when is the best time to take these supplements? In the morning, at night, or iba-iba ba siya ng time? May schedule ba yan dapat?
So, like, generally, mga B vitamins, vitamin C, or multivitamins, pwede siya kasabay ng pagkain. Like, immediately after doing your meal, it's also fine. Ganyan. Though meron tayong certain, like vitamin D, medyo dapat pahapon, hindi mo siya masyadong anuhin sa gabi because it will affect naman your melatonin hormones, which is responsible to make you sleep. Kasi meron po tayong tinatawag na mga nutrient-nutrient interactions, nutrient-drug interactions. So, parang yung behavior nila somehow medyo familiar ka rin dapat kung para mas ma-utilize. Kung Q10, coenzyme Q10 which is responsible for energy production nga po. Ideally, daytime siya.
Daytime naman.
So, kapag delay ko siya sa gabi, napatulog ka na, hirapan kang matulog.
Yeah,
May
yeah.
mga ganun po. Ganyan.
Sige. So, well, dami natin nakukuha ngayon.
Maraming
Dami.
nutrients pa actually. Like
Oo.
antioxidants. Marami tayong mga hindi masyadong familiar terms like quercetin. Siguro narinig niyo yun during pandemic. Mas naging siya. Ako, I particularly take that kasi before I'm suffering naman from allergic rhinitis, which I already overcome.
Oh,
Thanks God's
congratulations.
grace.
Yeah,
no?
pareho tayo actually. Oo.
Opo. Ako, talagang suffering. So, ever since I was in elementary, kahit na sobrang, yun nga, matutok sa amin yung parents namin, bumibili pa siya ng mga prutas, gulay, bagsakan sa tanawan. Nagpo-fruit shake siya, ganyan. Kaya po, somehow frustrated nga rin kami over the years until we have subscribed into the Cellular Nutrition Program 2019. Doon ako nakalaya sa mga nasal spray ko, antihistamine. Sabi ko, grabe Lord, may pag-asa pala.
Ito very quick lang. You mentioned about sleep, no? Ano na yung general mo naman advice para magkaroon ka ng better sleep?
Better sleep. So, number one, yung ating nagtitrigger to keeps us awake, yung mga cellphones natin.
Ayan.
Kasi the blue light keeps us
Yeah, true. Yeah.
awake. And at the same time, yung pagkain po ng dinner. So, it's good. If target mo, tulog ka na by 9, you get to eat your dinner 2 to 3 hours before.
So, mga 6, ganyan.
Opo.
6,
so,
7.
mayroon tayong mga melatonin-rich, food. No, like mga grapes, banana. So, for example, if you will be very particular on eating yung fruit, after your meals, pwedeng yung mga ganon, melatonin rich. Kasi as we age din, bumababa po yung melatonin hormones natin by default. So the question is, how can I intentionally increase it and at the same time create an environment to make sure na once I get to sleep, within 30 minutes, ideally dapat tulog. Ganun po yung paano mo masasabi na okay yung mo.
I also learned about yung yung sunlight. Pag sa umaga, yung eyes mo should be exposed in sunlight. Kaya maraming mga, I think yung mga northern countries, 'di ba? Medyo sa kanila gloomy yung weather. Marami na de-depress because yung sunlight is not laging nandun. So, yan, natutunan ko yan sa isang rin
Sunshine vitamin din, vitamin D.
Yes, so, yung mga ganun.
Yeah, my next question naman, follow up lang dun sa kanya. Ano namang recommend mo dun sa mga naka-graveyard shift? Kasi, as we know, yun nga, yung normal sleep, ang hirap na, di ba? Oo.
Usually, 10 to 6.
10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So, matutulog sila ng 6 a.m. That's not normal, right? So, how can they get the same...
Number one, magpalit na sila ng work.
Kung may option.
Kung may option, yeah.
Sana.
But how can they get yung benefit ng sleep
Yes.
or yung nutrition if they are in that kind of graveyard shift or work?
Yeah. Actually, magandang topic din yan. Number one is to establish a regular sleeping pattern. Parang kailangan, kasi by default, ganun nga po yung natin yung umaga, gabi, tutulog ka sa gabi, gising ka sa umaga. Pero kung wala ng choice, kundi yun lang talaga yung establish really a regular sleeping pattern para mabasa na ng katawan mo, eto na talaga siya. Plus yung halimbawa, yung kwarto, it really has to be dark because ang stimulus po noon yung melatonin hormone production is a dark environment. So once you get to close your eyes and dark and etc. ganyan, yun, magte-trigger na ng melatonin hormone.
Okay.
Dami nating natutunan ngayon.
So yung
sobrang
sasabihin ko. Yeah. So yung talaga yung body nag-a-adapt naman siya dun sa if meron kang regular sleeping pattern.
Circadian rhythm yata ang tawag dyan.
Yeah, the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Opo.
Nice.
Mag-establish ka lang. It will take time para yun yung basahin ng katawan. Pero importante ma-establish. Hindi parang paiba-iba. Ganung oras ka man. Doon po tayo nagkakaroon ng problema.
Yes.
Gigising ka, tutulog, gigising ng hindi ganun yung time. So, kailangan ipaglaban din po yun. Okay.
Correct. Hindi, marami pa akong tanong. Kaya lang, may meeting na rin tayo kasunod. At saka, tsaka very busy rin to si Coach, MR. Siguro, we can wrap this up, no? Yep. Siguro, kung bibigay ka lang ng one advice, no, that can motivate, especially yung mga professionals in, watching what they eat and taking care of their health. So, how would you motivate them?
Okay. Siguro it would start with, a confused mind will always say no. That's why it's very important to, keep learning and at the same time be patient with your progress. The challenge kasi sometimes is that the first goal hindi nila na-meet, talagang nag-give up na sila. So as long as nabubuhay ka, you deserve to be healthy. And the fact that, alam mo yun, very hardworking ka sa work mo, you really deserve to have a better quality of life. Lalo na mga breadwinners natin. Okay?
Right.
And there's really hope na, you can really, may mga kilala rin ako super busy people, pero talagang okay din talaga yung health nila. So keep on learning, keep on siguro reading mga credible information. Marami kasi information outside. Social media, TikTok,
Correct.
Facebook, ganyan. Pero don't apply kung ano yung narinig mo agad sa kapitbahay mo. Ito pumayat sa ganito.
Right,
so
right.
baka ito rin yung mag-work sa akin. So check mo if the information that you're hearing and you're applying is science-based, credible enough.
Right.
No? And yeah, it's really sustainable.
Kaya may peer-to-peer talaga review.
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
Yes.
So,
And maganda may accountability.
Right.
Partner.
Yeah.
No, mga ganyan. Pero dapat ikaw mismo decided ka sa sarili regardless of the forces outside. Having a clear why is very important. Like for example, di lang enough na gusto ko maging healthy para maganda yung body ko or etc. Well, case-to-case basis, like ako personally, mahilig kasi ako sa mga clothes and as much as possible.
Para pareho kayo
clothes
nitong
ko,
katabi ko.
laging nag-fit. Diba, ma'am? Nung pandemic, medyo nag-gain tayo. So, medyo na-frustrate ako. Sabi ko, gosh, hindi ko masuot yung iba kong damit. So, that's an enough motivation for me to, get back on track.
That's right.
Pero may iba na anak nila, gusto nila makitang So, number one yun, I think, for you to keep motivated. No? And at the same time, have a simple structure in your mind. Like, I would start and end this day by having this checklist. And kung ito yung checklist ko ng pagiging healthy, like the 5 pillars of wellness: exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress management, and your nutritionals. If you get to have the basic standard of this, ma-check mo siya, then that's already a win for you for this day. And lastly, so your why, your pillars of wellness, and of course, knowing always where you are, which is your ABCD of nutritional assessment to keep you on track.
Right,
Diba? Because that's the only thing you will know kung healthy nga ba talaga ako.
Right. Very nicely said.
Yeah,
Grabe.
ganda.
Na-motivate ako lalo.
Same here.
Yeah. So okay. So if you want, if people would like to reach out to you, inquire and ask about your services, where would you lead them?
Yes, you can connect you can connect to me in my social media accounts. So I'm present in Facebook. That's Mary Rose Del Rio, nutritionist dietitian. I also have FB page there at Coach M&M 2020. Also sa TikTok, M&M Wellness Coaches. Ayan, LinkedIn, personal account ko yun. So yeah, feel free to message me should you have any questions, clarifications.
That's great. Thank you so much, Coach MR.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wow, wasn't just that's just packed with incredible insights. I hope you're feeling as inspired as we are to make some positive changes in our nutrition journey. So a huge thank you to our guest, special guest, Coach. Ang dami namin natutunan sa'yo. So thank you very much. So, yep, if you enjoy this podcast, kindly subscribe and keep watching for more.
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
See you in the next
episode.
Bye.